Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Happiness Is podcast with me, your host, Bruce Aitchison from Happiness is Egg Shaped. And today, my guest is someone who has been on before talking about an important cause, but he has got another cause that he is striving and fighting for, and he's raising funds and awareness. I absolutely love this guy. Met him through those weird circumstances that we find ourselves in. We can't get to people, so we spend time on a screen online. And then I got to meet the guy in person in Edinburgh and then back on his home patch in Cardiff. Always very welcoming, such a down-to-earth, humble human. But he has got a cause to fight for, and I am going to do everything I can to support him in that. He's a magnificent man. He was a fabulous rugby player. He's a family man. He's a dad. He's a husband. And he's an all-round bloody good person. So without any further ado, please welcome the one and the only Mr. Alix Popham. Hello, sir.
Hello, Bruce. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me on again.
I'm absolutely delighted to see you. This has been quite a whirlwind romance, the two of us.
Yes. When we moving in?
you would hate that. You would hate that. So we find you in the middle of the Six Nations, and probably never a more interesting time to highlight some of the causes that matter to us. We met through Doddy Aid, but now we talk about Head for Change. Why is it important to get this message out now?
It's hugely important. Head for Change was born and made into a charity, into a foundation, because there was nothing out there for young people coming to terms with their diagnosis, any help, any support. And yeah, it was much needed. When I had my diagnosis, we searched online, how do you tell teenage kids of my diagnosis, and it was all for 60, 65-year-olds. And that's where we joined with football, because this problem is in football as well, and partnered up together and set up the foundation. It's been for us as a family learning on the job, but we definitely are making a difference and supporting lots of ex-players and family members.
You started the conversation. That's probably what is most important.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, admitting to myself after Mel, my wife, was trying to get me to go to the doctors maybe for 3-4 months before I actually went. After you admit that and take the first step, it's a massive weight off your shoulder. Even though it's not great news, and I'm doing lots to help myself, it's definitely better knowing and sharing that problem with others.
What was the trigger for you and for Mel to decide, hang on a minute, there's something not right here?
Well, there were lots of symptoms that were going on, from short-term memory, concentration, struggling in group situations with filtering out background noise or people talking across me to understand a conversation. But I was putting that down, as I said, to other things going on in my life. But I went on a bike ride from my house, a loop I've done lots of times, and I got lost on this bike ride. And it was a pretty scary moment. Ended up cycling home the way I came, and then spoke to Mal, and the following day was in the GP's having a conversation.
And the conversation's difficult, and you're a big, strong, tough rugby player. Was that part of the issue? Was it admitting that maybe everything's not okay?
I think, yeah, blokes are not renowned for opening up. I was lucky. My GP works half the time in the neurology department in my local hospital, and with my background as a rugby player, literally got me straight in for testing. I was then assigned a neuropsychologist who did his thesis in CTE and sport. So yeah, the cards landed for me in that respect with the NHS, and I've had great support from the first day. But not everybody is as fortunate as me with their local GP, and that's where Head for Change is looking to support, and also to when they go to the GP, to ask for certain things and support. And having that myself definitely made a difference.
So education is one of the themes that's coming out here. We need more people to know about this. What would you like to see for younger people involved in sport?
I think they've got to understand how serious concussion is, or not, let's not call it a concussion. Let's call it a traumatic brain injury, because it is one of those, and let's get the language right. And I think that's from as soon as they start playing, everybody who's involved in the game, from their parents, from the coaches, who's watching it, because they haven't got cameras on them filming the game, and they've got to be aware if a player stays down slightly longer than normal, that potentially they have had a TBI and they need assessing, and if in doubt, take them off the sit them out is the saying. And that needs to happen. I think I would like, when a coach does his coaching badges, there's a part of that badge that is similar to when you do your theory driving test, that if you don't pass that and get 100 out of 100, you don't go on to the next level and allowed out onto the pitch. That obviously would be annually updated, but I just think it would be a really good stamp that World Rugby and the governing bodies have put on coaches who are looking after youngsters.
When you watch the game now as a spectator, do you watch it through your fingers? Do you clench your teeth? Do you look away?
No, I just watch it definitely through different eyes. As a player, there was no real education around this. The only question after a bang to the head was, do you feel sick? If not, you just carried on. And I always thought a concussion was where you were knocked out cold. 90% of concussions are where you're not knocked out. So yeah, for me now, watching a game, you just see somebody hitting the chest. It doesn't have to necessarily be hitting the head to cause a concussion. So you may have a whiplash to the player, and that is causing an injury. And yeah, it's just every contact area I'm watching in more detail. And yeah, that's the way it is. I think for me though, with regards to where rugby is, I think the game on a Saturday is as safe as it can be. There's some laws they could look at with regards to clearing out the rucks, and when somebody takes a 10-15 meter run up to wipe somebody out, hit them in the chest, and that's still legal. Yes, they have clamped down on, and rightly so, on the hitting of the head, but as I said earlier, a hit to the chest can still cause a whiplash and can still concuss somebody. So I think they need to look at that. Potentially the laws around substitutes as well. There's been talk about looking at only allowing a sub if there is an injury. So the players who start the game have got to last all 80, which then would mean they wouldn't be able to carry around the bulk that they do now. So yeah, there's things around that, but the majority of changes that I want to see happen that would make the game safer tomorrow are through the week, and they're not happening quick enough, in my opinion.
Right, this is probably going to rile you up, but I'm going to see how this goes. You sign up to be a rugby player. This is just part of the game.
It's a lot more out there now with regards to being knowing your body is gonna not be in the best state when you retire, but nobody told you that you could get dementia and probable CT at the age of 40. I think if you know that, if you're educated on concussions and what concussions are, so when I was hitting a bag every day in training or doing rucking drills and seeing stars, they were actually causing damage. And if you were told that, then of course you wouldn't put yourself in those situations or pull yourself off after having one. So yeah, for me, you knew you were signing up for your body to be in bits in retirement, because I was used to, as a youngster growing up, seeing my idols in the rugby club walking around with limps and bad shoulders and backs and things like that. But it never come across my mind that you could have brain damage from playing rugby.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. So you don't just take that diagnosis and look after yourself. You decided, right, there's more to this. The band of mostly brothers that you've collected is absolutely unbelievable. The people that have jumped on this. This is a big deal, and it means a lot to a lot of people. How has that felt when people have rallied around?
Well, the support, love from the rugby family uh, has been amazing. We saw it a couple of weeks ago with the Dodiwea ride, and that was an amazing event. And this is the special thing about rugby. The people who've been really supportive for myself, for the foundation, has been unbelievable. And when we put on an event like this is the second year we've done this event. I didn't think I would do it again after last year. My soles had sores after 24 hours on a static bike, but it raised £58,000 and it's COVID proof. And we just thought, why not? Let's go with it again. But yeah, as soon as you usually ask one of the rugby family to help support, I'm not asking all of them to sign up and do the full 24 hours. There are a few. It's the minimum time that you can take part is a 2-hour stint on Zwift. And yeah, a lot of players have agreed to that, thankfully.
It's absolutely brilliant. So let's just outline exactly what you've got planned. This is a pretty epic head for change rugby ride. What is it? Who's doing it? Where do you do it?
So it's a 24-hour challenge split over 2 days. So it starts on the 5th of March and the 6th of March, Saturday the 5th, Sunday the 6th. Each day is split up into 6 2-hour sessions, starting at 8 a.m., finishing at 8 p.m. When you go onto Zwift, and all this information can be found on our website, you choose your team. So it's Scotland against Wales, against England, against Ireland, against rest of the world. Wales won last year, so we're reigning champions. In this event and the Six Nations. I didn't want to drop that in, but
Is that because all the other teams got players sent off?
oh no, we won't bring that up. No one got sent off from our rise. No one. Everyone was well behaved, and every mile that you cycle, even if you only sign up for a 2-hour ride, those miles goes towards your country. So you're pedaling and representing your country when you sign up.
So go on to Zwift, sign up, choose your team, and you're sporting a pretty smart head
Yes.
for change cycling shirt there with your sponsor across the chest.
Yes, Masoa is our sponsor. They provide skin what's the word I'm looking for? Moisturizers and after care and things like that, oils. But a certain percentage of their profits goes to men's mental health. So yeah, they were a perfect fit when I spoke to Matt at Masoa a few months ago, and he was delighted to sponsor this event. Also, each stage, so each 2 hours is a race in itself, and whoever wins that race, your miles goes towards your country, but you also can win a big goodie bag of Masoa products. So yeah, that's exciting. So there's lots on each event. So if you can only commit 2 hours, you could still come away with some goodies. Also, people who raise over £500 for Head for Change can get one of these jerseys with finisher on, which is a nice take home and a nice memory of the event after your sores have cleared up. And each day is also a competition that whoever rides the most miles in the Saturday and the Sunday will get one of these jerseys, but in yellow. So a yellow Le Col jersey for the winner of each day as well.
So last year you raised 50,000. Have you set yourself a target for this year?
Yeah, we would love to get over 100,000 this year, but we'll wait and see on that. I know things. People, there's money shortages out there, but yeah, it's a great cause. We are making a huge difference to people and their families. So every penny goes 100% on the charity, and makes a huge difference.
So, what sort of things is the money spent on?
So we offer support. We've had quite a few interventions with players who are not in a great way, and we've got professionals in front of them. We've partnered up with another not-for-profit called Beyond White Line, and we supply a Thrive well mental well-being app to them that is the only NHS approved wellness app. So you use it every day. There's meditation, there's breathing techniques, there's yoga, and you answer certain questions. And through artificial intelligence, if they detect that something's not quite right, there will be a clinical professional contact them through the app, which has happened a few times. So we know it's working. We speaking to the guys and women who are using it. It is making a difference, and yeah, we're looking with the three key pillars in Head for Change. As we've spoken about, it's education, and that's all the way from grassroots all the way up to the elite level. We're looking to be going into schools and talking them around the signs of concussion, what to do, and that's for the player, but also the staff member or the coach in a junior club. And then research, we're looking for independent research away from anybody, like governing bodies and things like that, on the issues of concussion as well. So yeah, it's for me, it's great to be part of this, and we are making a big difference.
It's absolutely spectacular. So, come on, we're on Zwift. Name drop some of the people that are going to be joining you on this ride.
Oh, so we've got Carl Heymans, ex-New Zealand prop. Unfortunately, got diagnosed a few months ago, and we've only got Carl because he was meant to be taking part in the New Zealand Ironman, and it got cancelled because of COVID. So Carl's agreed. I think Carl's going to take part in the full 24 hours. He's got himself in great shape to do the Ironman.
He
So
is a brilliant guy and loves the
yeah,
cycle. Considering
yeah,
he was the best prop on the planet,
yes.
he moves pretty well on a bike. The big man.
He's unbelievable. When he was over in the summer, I went out on about 3 or 4 rides with him, and yeah, he's some athlete. I think when he came on the scene as a tight head, he was most probably the world's best tight head scrummager, but he played like an outside half as well. He had hands and could run with the ball, and yeah, was a hell of a player, but hell of a bloke as well. We've got Rupert Moon, the ex-Welsh Llanelli scrum half, Ollie Phillips, Ryan Jones, Josh Navidi. I think is going to pop in and do a couple of hours. You've got me now. Who else? Wyn
Well,
Evans,
I know. I
the
just saw Wyn Evans has been
yeah.
announced. The Go Compare guy.
Yes, he's a good friend of mine, and is a great supporter of Head for Change. And he took part last year with Rupert Moon. They did 2 hours. So Wyn did 2 hours, Rupert did two, and they took it in turns. And we FaceTimed whilst doing it, and we had him singing, and yeah, it was all good fun.
It's so good when you just see people coming together. It doesn't necessarily impact everybody, but because it's impacted their mate, it's important to them.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what it's all about. For me, the diagnosis is not great news. It's definitely better, but knowing. But for that bad news now to try and turn it into a positive and help other people. That's what keeps me going.
So you said that you've got things that you do to look after yourself.
Yes.
What are some of those examples? What sort of things are you doing?
So my diet, mostly a Mediterranean diet, apart from the curry when we were in Edinburgh the other night. So there's a couple of cheat nights, but I would say 95% Mediterranean diet, a lot of fish, exercise really good for everybody, but it keeps the oxygen and blood flow into the brain. I use red light therapy every day. I've got a hyperbaric chamber I use every day. After a training session, I've got a red light sauna. So all these little things I do are like 1% to help me on a daily basis, and then hopefully in the future will keep me as me as long as possible. I had been offered some experimental treatment that initial signs are really positive, but I won't know the outcome of those until most probably August, September this year. But yeah, I'm doing everything that I can to help me, and then in turn help others. And I can recommend these different therapies and treatments to other people who are struggling.
Pops, I absolutely love it. You're an inspiration. So coming up, we've got a big drive. Give us that rallying call to get people to join you and get on board with this.
Oh, please, just everybody would love you to take part. There's on Zwift. There's you can communicate and send messages to other riders. It's not a race for everybody. So if you just want to get on and be a part of the event, like I'm doing the full 24 hours, so I'm literally at the back ticking along. I'm not going for any yellow jersey or for me, it's just about completing it, raising as much money as we can, and be proud of what we've achieved at the end, and enjoy a curry. That's my treat when I finish. But if you can't take part, please donate to my page on Just Giving, or the charity as a whole. As I said, every penny goes to helping people and their families.
Pops, you're an absolute superstar. I love you to bits, and I hope it goes very, very well. I don't think I'll be joining you on the bike, but I'll definitely make a donation. How does that go?
Perfect. I'm happy for that, buddy. I'm happy.
Awesome, my man. Great to see you. Thank you, and I'll speak to you again
Thanks
very, very soon.
Thank you.
You got to love that. So please, if you can, get involved. Get onto Zwift. Lots of you enjoy that. Get on your bike. Join in. There's some huge names going to be involved, and it's doing something really, really positive for other people. You can catch up on Instagram and on Twitter. You can get to the website, headforchange.org.uk. Sign up on Zwift and be part of the solution, please. Alix Popham is one of life's good guys. I promise you that. I can tell you from first-hand experience. And if there is something you can do to help him, please do. You can catch this on Apple, Acast, and Spotify. You can also watch on Facebook and YouTube. Please interact. Please tell us how it was. Please tell us how you're getting involved to help. And I look forward to speaking to you all again very, very soon. But in the meantime, my name is Bruce Aitchison, and my happiness is egg-shaped.